Welcome back, gang, to Season 3 of the Priority Learning Culture Coaching Podcast. You can see me now. Isn't that so exciting? We're doing video this season. This is the big push that we've been going for a little while. I know we talked a little bit about it in Season 2, but now we're actually going ahead and doing it for Season 3. I'm sitting here with Lorraine Twombly, one of the owners and founders of Priority Learning. How are you doing today, Lorraine?
I'm doing very well. Thanks, Mike. So what are you doing?
No major complaints. Happy to be here and happy to finally get Season 3 going. We're recording a little bit later in the year than we intended to, which is fine, but just so our viewers know, we, the last 2 seasons have started a little bit earlier in the year, but don't worry, this season will be just as complete as those seasons were. Just not going to be delivered as soon as it was, but you'll be getting them regularly as you're watching us. So today's topic is transformative coaching.
Yes.
In the business realm, more of a leadership coaching.
Right.
So tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, years ago, when we first started, Ralph and I started this business, we decided that searching for really good leadership tools would help us. And it actually did. When we found out about coaching and how it can transform your leadership, and just by doing that, that alone can help you learn more things about yourself as a leader, but just being curious about others and using, friendly questions to get to the root of whatever that other person's problem might be, or a career path that they're looking for. You can help them with that simply by asking really good questions, but open-ended so that they can think about what they really want to do. Coaching is about helping others to determine their own issues and how to fix them, or, develop their own career, but with the help of someone asking them questions. Or it could also be used as a disciplinary HR thing, because instead of accusing somebody of doing something, you might identify the thing that was done and say, if you had to do it over again, how would you do it the next time? Do you realize while you're here, we need to talk about what just happened? And then you just let them talk. And then you just ask more questions to get them to their own root of whatever problem, to get them to realize, oh, I have an aha moment here because now I know what I did and now I know not what to do in the future.
Yeah.
So coaching is, to me, the best leadership tool that there is, because it's how I started as being a better leader. I started with my kids, right? I have a really beautiful daughter. There were times when I had to use coaching to help her understand her own behavior at times. I did that a few times with my son as well. And I just really think that was a really good, especially when they're teenagers, they understand better what you're trying to do. And it actually lends a good behavioral model for other kids as well. They'll learn not to go ahead and accuse and do things. So they'll learn to be more curious and ask a question around it rather than to be angry about what they're seeing or something like that. And I think, truthfully, that a lot of issues can be, managed better if we used coaching, a curious way to question others to find out how they can do what they need to do. It's almost like just a reminder that, there's people here that can help. There are people here that can help you identify what your needs are and how you want to behave more appropriately in the future, how you want to gain the education that you need to get your career moving in the right direction. There are many, many ways to coach. But simply by being curious and simply by asking open-ended questions, Developing the trust that needs to be there too. If people don't trust you, it's not really going to work.
Right.
They're not going to want to hear from you, if they don't trust you. But if you ask those curiosity questions, you can gain that trust, because now people are thinking, that person cares about me, right? That person cares what I think. Isn't knocking me over the head because I didn't do something correctly, right?
Right.
That kind of stuff. So, yeah. So I really think coaching is the answer to a lot of leadership challenges.
Yeah. So I think it's important to distinguish the difference between, because they really aren't that similar, but I think they get mixed up a lot of the time, coaching and mentoring, right? Because a mentor is like someone who's leading by example, someone who's sharing their experience with you. When you're coaching, it's not about you. It's not about what you're necessarily bringing to this person in terms of benefit or experience. It's just like, I'm going to help you by finding the right questions, by getting you to start answering these questions for yourself. Instead of me giving you an answer like a mentor will do, it's about helping you discover where the directions and the answers for yourself.
That's exactly right. Mentoring is a different modality, and it's all about, helping others to develop the skills it takes to do the certain job, right? That's almost like a training initiative, except it's more conversational, it's more trusting of the person that's helping you. You have a little bit more fun, those kinds of things. Mentoring can be fun.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a great modality.
Yeah.
As you say, it's a great tool.
Yeah.
But it's very different than coaching.
It is. But while you're mentoring, you can coach as well.
Right. Yeah.
So you can add all of that in there.
Yeah.
And then there's candid conversations. Right now, I've been researching about having a candid conversation that helps people to understand that they've been going in a different direction than is necessary to go into, right? And so there are people who go through their careers thinking everybody likes them and stuff like that, but little did that person know that everyone's unhappy and they actually redo his work, but they're afraid to tell him. So now, this poor person who's been there more than a year or two is just realizing, because somebody else comes in the mix and is noticing the behavior and can say something about it, and can be more candid to that person, that everyone else really didn't do this person any justice.
Yeah.
So there's that as well. And it's hard. But coaching will help. I feel like you can do candid coaching questions in order to help that, instead of being more accusatory.
And having somebody outside, so whether or not this is you guys coaching or in this example or whoever, somebody from the outside came in and said, I see what's happening here. Nobody's talking about it, but I can get you there. I can help you. Oh, maybe I was trained the wrong way and I think that what I'm doing is the right way, but really everybody's having to make up for it and not telling me. And that's no one wants that. It's no one wants to think that they're doing a good job only to find out that everything they're doing is a little off or, just whatever. But
and nobody told them. Right. And so that's where coaching and mentoring can come in. Because mentoring is more candid.
Yeah.
It is. And it can be. And you can say, okay, but in order to get this job done the way it should be, or in order for people to follow you the way that you want them to, these are the different things you need to do. And if you're not doing them now, how do you want to do it? Do you need some help? Do you need a coach? That kind of thing. So, so there's a lot of different ways of looking at it, and human behavior can be very difficult. It really can, because you don't know what everybody is thinking. You really don't. But all you can do is try to help in a genuinely curious way. And people learn to trust that.
Yeah.
they know if you're being genuinely curious or not, right?
Yeah.
And so when you approach them in that way, you get a lot better result. You know, people become more resilient because you're helping them to be more resilient,
Yeah.
to take the feedback that they need to take, but you're doing it in a way that's helping them determine their own future. You're not telling them what to do.
So obviously you guys have been doing coaching for organizational development and leadership and all these, you know, everything that's inside of your wheelhouse. What would you say to somebody who is maybe interested in being a coach?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
What are some of the things that they should, because like there's enthusiasm's great and, you know, figuring out the questions to ask, but you can't just hop into something and think that you're going to be excellent at it. What are some things that might help people who want to get into coaching who really aren't sure how to get the ball rolling,
Right.
or how to be when they are a coach?
Well, they certainly can practice with a person who knows how, right? Somebody like me, I would be happy to do a coaching session with them, and because by way of doing it, I'm modeling it as well, right?
Yeah.
So I will ask that person
A coach to coach.
to coach, you know, a coach to coach. Exactly. So it can be done. But like, for instance, if you are really looking to do more coaching, right, more genuine questions, you know, so that you can get the answers that people need to get for themselves, just practice. Practice with your significant other, practice with your friends, practice with kids. You practice, you know, just practice being genuinely curious. Make yourself curious too. And a lot of times it takes a little bit more mindfulness to
Yeah. Don't fill in the blanks for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it requires not giving advice.
Right.
The hard, because we all sometimes know the answer to a lot of the difficult things that people have, you know, difficulties in making choices about. So we know the answers sometimes, but they need to come to it because now it's in their brain. It's something they'll be able to take for themselves. It's giving them a gift, really.
Yeah.
You know?
And so flipping that around, if one of our viewers or somebody is like, I really need a coach, you know what I mean? And not necessarily, obviously they can hire Priority Learning. That's a great way to go. But there's so many different ways to find a coach. Like, how would somebody in an organization who sees somebody who might be successful and maybe like they might want a mentor a bit, but maybe they're looking for, I need help finding my own answers. This guy's great and he does his own thing, but I want him to help me. Is there a way to go about like kind of eliciting someone to coach you?
Well, you know, HR has a resource bucket. If you go to HR, sometimes they'll have their own favorite person that they'll hire to help, right? It doesn't have to be us, but there are many of them out there. There's plenty of coaches out there that, you know, that's a lifestyle business for them, as it is for us. I mean, we have this big overhead right here. However, it's still, you know, it's still a business we love. It's our lifestyle. We live, breathe this, you know, and it's because we've been doing this for 30 plus years, you know, so, and before that, we were learning how to get there to start this business and all that. So we had to, and how we did it? Oh my gosh, we did a lot of coaching. We did. We asked our clients in a genuinely curious way, if you had the best ideas for this organization, what would they be? How would you want to do it? Because we develop people organizationally as well. So, you know, there's leadership, but there's also culture. There's all these different things that fall into place.
Yeah.
But coaching to me is probably the most important thing to start off with. And if you can learn, we have models. If you want to model, reach out to us. I'm happy to share.
All right, gang. So that's coaching in a nutshell. Is there anything else that you want to add to our little piece here?
Well, I can't think of anything right now, Mike. I feel like I have spoken a lot about this. So, but if anyone has any questions, simply go to our website, reach out to us. We will definitely be there to answer you. So your questions and all that.
All right, gang. So feel free to check out prioritylearningresearch.com, and the email is info@prioritylearningresearch.com. So if you guys have any questions about coaching, or if you're interested in getting some coaching, or maybe if you're interested in, I feel like I have more to offer, but I'm not quite sure how to go about making those conversations happen, because I think it's very valuable for people inside an organization to be like, oh, I see somebody who's struggling and I struggled like that. But crossing the bridge of being like, okay, I want to help this person, but how do I get there to be an accepted? How do they accept me as a coach, or even accept that little bit of help that I'm trying to give? So if you guys are interested in that, reach out. And otherwise, we will see you next time on the Priority Learning Culture Coaching Podcast. I'm Mike McKean. Thanks for joining us, Lorraine.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Have a good one, gang.
Bye.